Okay, so this is my evaluation question 7. Looking back at your prelim test, what do you feel like you've learnt from the progression from it? So first of all, I feel like obviously I created my magazine on Photoshop and InDesign. So they're the basics, that's like where all my work actually linked back to. So with Photoshop, in my prelim task, most of my work was quite bare. I didn't really know how to use most of the tools. My work was quite simple. All I really knew what to do was like moving things, changing the colour of things, adding text, just the real basics. But now I feel like I know a lot more, and I've developed my skills a lot more through practice and obviously watching other people do it and doing research behind it. So a lot of the times whenever I need to know how to do things, I had to Google or YouTube videos how to do it, so I knew what I was doing and I knew the outcome of it, which made me want to improve my work to that standard of what it was to do. But now I obviously know how to, whenever I know how to add font from different websites. So obviously I use DaFont for a lot of it, which is an online website where you get fonts, which creates your own font for you. So obviously I had to place that into Photoshop, which made my work a little different to not the standard fonts, which yeah. I also know how to like rasterize things. So for my double page spread, I had to make my image bigger, but just the background. So I had to do that by it all being black. So I had to Google how to do that. I also had to use obviously the magic wand tool, the crop tool, and many different things. So I've definitely developed my skills in Photoshop a lot since first using it. And then whenever it comes to InDesign, that's wherever I actually placed all my magazine bits in the one software, and where I created my double page spread as well. So obviously InDesign, I did not use it before. For my prelim task I haven't used it. So I was quite new to it, but I seemed to get the basics of it because it was quite similar to Photoshop. But all I really had to do for it was the simple things like add font, drop caps for the text, add images, so it was quite similar to Photoshop. But throughout that I learned from my mistakes. Obviously my final products aren't as plain and simple as they were before. I feel like they're a lot more they look a lot more effective with the different tools I used. Obviously with using Photoshop, so I had to take the images for the magazines. So I feel like with the camera, obviously we had to use one of the big Lumix cameras. I did not know how to use it. All I knew was how to turn it on and off in my prelim task, which wasn't really planned, and yeah. So, but now I know how to focus it, how to zoom in, how to zoom out, how to change the lighting, which helped a lot because for my magazine it's a dance magazine, so I needed like a club-like atmosphere for the background to be quite dark. So I needed to change that and use that quite a lot. I also, with my taking the shots of the models, I planned it a lot more. I made sure they were all there on time, what they needed to wear, created a prop list, whether I needed to book a room out to get that atmosphere / vibe for the image, which I didn't do for my prelim task, which was a massive mistake because that was kind of like I took an image and I had to use it because I didn't have any other options, whereas for my music magazine, I took a lot more, which I got to choose from. So yeah. I felt like my magazine was planned a lot more in terms of the colours, the name. I did this by researching a lot. So for my research I did questionnaires, focus groups, where I got my target audience, which is 15 to 25 year olds, and asked them questions and what they thought was attractive. That helped a lot, 100%, because I knew what they liked, which helped me decide which one to do. And a lot of the time they actually agreed, which was quite good. And then throughout my magazine I had to evaluate everything I did. So questions 1 to 7. So I had to use a lot more softwares. Whereas in my prelim task I kind of stuck to the basic ones which I knew and was familiar with. For example, PowerPoint and Word. But now for my music magazine I use a lot more like Amaze, Prezi, YouTube, Powtoon, Video. I had troubles with them obviously, just as technical issues, but I feel like I know a lot more about different softwares and how effective they can be and how interesting they can make your work look. And yeah, they were quite similar in terms of how I use them, but I had to get help, of course. And I also researched and planned a lot of my work with everything. So I researched into different magazines to see what the codes and conventions are of music magazines. I researched into my target audience and see what they like in terms of their lifestyle, and that definitely helped and improved my work, so for it to be attractive to the target audience more and make it more interesting for them. I also lastly, whenever I'm evaluating my work, I feel like my knowledge is broadened a lot in terms of using technical terms. I know a lot more, and it became more natural as it went on. In terms of in my prelim task, I was just sticking the words in, and I didn't really know what context to actually use them in, whereas I use them with ease now, and I feel like I know a lot more about them. Okay, that's it. Thank you.